Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In this video, as you can see, I'm not playing a game and stuff, and that's because it's time to get serious. That's right, we're talking about the power of friendship, Okay, I have to stop being a YouTuber and actually start being a normal human being, but okay, look, the power of friendship is actually like incredibly useful, and if there is literally one video you take away from my channel, it's that friends are really important, and here's how to get them. So, yeah, I guess without further ado, let's get into it. So, basically, there are quite a few things I want to address here. The first of which is people really overthink friendships, okay? They're not that complicated, okay? Sure, they're complex, relationships you have with people, but the bottom line is that we're all humans, okay? I don't care what you think you are a human being, a Homo sapiens species, thank you. And that means that, roughly you can treat everyone, not exactly the same, but at least initially, absolutely. Okay, and what does every single human being want? They want to be included. They want to be in the, in group, with the friends. They want people to interact with. And so if you interact with them, they're gonna like you. Okay, that's basically like the cornerstone to making friends. Okay, if you want to have friends, you have to interact with the same person on a semi-consistent basis. Okay, and it doesn't have to be like every second, every day. No, but you have to actually be interacting with them. And basically what that means is don't like second guess yourself, okay? Like if you see a group of people and are like, it might be a bit awkward. I don't care how awkward you think you are. I don't care how socially awkward you think you are. Go to them, okay? Because the only thing you're gonna accomplish by not going to them is you don't meet a group of awesome people. That is literally the only result that can happen. Meanwhile, if you go to them and, say it turns out to be literally the absolute worst, most awkward interaction possible, unless you committed war crimes, it's still a positive result. And that's really the thing that many people don't understand about friendships, okay? Is that even when you don't think that, it was kind of boring or dull or whatever, it's still a positive interaction, okay? There is no such thing as a negative interaction unless you are committing, like, one of the few small sins of friendship, which I'll explain later, but basically, as long as you're not being a bad person or just, like, hiding things that, you shouldn't be hiding, it's a positive interaction, okay? And when I say hiding things, I don't mean, spilling everything, you don't have to tell me your life story. What I mean by that is basically, like, you're respecting each other's boundaries, you're communicating your boundaries, all that stuff, okay? And although I'm talking about friends primarily in this video, I do mean, this basically goes for basically any interaction you have with anyone. So, your friends, your family, including your parents, by the way, teachers, any significant others, if you have those, even your enemies or peers, like, everyone is included in this, okay? They all, like, it is a universal human trait that we all need to be, loved and accepted, and, you should provide that to your friends, and you should also be provided that by your friends. And the thing is that what friendship is based on, and, what all those are based on, is trust, okay? If you don't have trust, I mean, I'm not gonna say you should, if you don't trust someone, just leave them, okay? No, like, you can still interact with people that you don't necessarily trust, but, it's much better to have people that you trust so that you are able to be, confident in your own shoes. And also, that's a big thing is for self-confidence, is that if you have friends, then you can really be yourself around other people, because you already have a group of friends that accept you for who you are, as opposed to, who you're trying to be. And, meanwhile, if you don't have any friends, it's like, you try to pretend to be someone you're not, you might sell your values because, what if these people, only acknowledge me because of me trying to be someone I'm not? What if they ever find out the truth? Which is why you always want to be yourself at all times around anyone. Obviously, within reason, okay, you don't want to, I, for example, don't dox myself online, but that's not me not being myself. I'm completely 100% myself in all my videos, all my streams, all that. What I mean is I don't have to, go get rid of my boundaries. I don't have to, dox myself just to, be accepted and included. And I think that's a big part of this. But of course, the first key step before, you're actually able to interact with anyone is you have to actually interact with them, okay? If you just, like, stare at someone from a distance and they don't even know you exist, it's not a friendship, at least not from their perspective. And of course, friendships should be mutual. So that's why, like, whenever, if you have, like, a social anxiety or something, I don't care, okay? No one cares that you have social anxiety. What they care about is that you interact with them, okay? No one cares if you're awkward or, oh no. Okay, I will be straight up front. Maybe I'll, you know, Helly won't like me for saying this, but when Helly, one of my best friends to date, you know, when he first interacted with me, I thought it was the most awkward thing on the planet, okay? Like, he just straight out of the blue said, hey, buddy, I'm a Galactic content creator, and you're a Galactic content creator. We should, hang out. Thanks, Helly, very cool. But the point is, it didn't matter how awkward the first interaction was, and honestly, I didn't even care that much, okay? The fact is that someone wanted to hang out with me, and I was like, this could be fun, and now to this day, we are amazing best friends, okay? That's incredible. So, yeah, it doesn't matter how awkward you think you are, how, you know, insanely, oh, I'm not good at social interactions you are. Just go meet with people, and honestly, also, even if you truly think, oh, no, this social interaction is going to go terrible and whatnot, how exactly do you expect to get better at social interaction without having any social interaction? Like, come on, it's not going to happen, okay? You can't just learn. I mean, you can learn social interaction, but there's no substitute for experience of social interaction. So just go out, meet with people, and I understand it can be intimidating, but you just have to force yourself if you want to provide actual change for yourself, okay? If you want friends, if you want to, you know, have anything of that, you have to go out and be there. Okay, you have to be present, be, you know, physically active, and not just like, oh, show up and then, you know, be on your phone the entire time. No, get off your phone, go to, you know, any, you know, social event. And of course, if you're talking to them on your phone, that's different, obviously. But that brings me to my second point of this video, which is the type of social interaction you're with someone basically affects a lot. So in general, you want your social interaction to be as close to an in-person interaction as possible. So, for example, in person is better than doing a video call, which is better than doing a voice call, which is loads better than just, like, talking via text. Okay, and this is why, for my streams and videos and whatnot, you always see me, you know, whenever someone's, you know, interacting in chat a lot, and they say, hey, can I join your game? I always say, hey, okay, sure, but do you want to VC? Do you want to, you know, talk, etc.? Because, okay, fine, I might not, you know, want to reveal my face enough to do, you know, a video call, or obviously not meet in person due to the virtual nature of YouTube, but VC I can absolutely do, and that is loads better than, you know, any kind of text is ever going to do. So, and obviously, you know, it's obviously not, like, 100%, like, you aren't always going to be able to, like, get, oh, the best social interaction possible. Like, you aren't always going to get to meet someone in person. You always aren't going to get to, you know, meet them with a video or voice call. But the point is, the more social interaction, the better, okay? This, like, think of it as, like, oh, you get, like, 4 points for, you know, in-person interaction, 3 points for video interaction, and 2 points for voice interaction, and then 1 point for text. That's actually somewhat unrealistic. It's actually, I think, like, text is, like, I don't quote me on this, but I think, like, text is, like, 10% of communication, and then voice is, like, I think, like, 40%, and then the rest is nonverbal communication. Okay, so, like, there's some, like, pie chart out there, you can look at that. I don't really know, but the point is that you get so much more communication the more close to in person you are. So just whenever you're interacting with someone, make sure that you're actually interacting as close to you as you can in person, okay? Like, I try to avoid text as much as I can in favor of, hey, you want to call, you want to VC, it's great. And of course, this also explains, you know, parasocial relationships people have with YouTubers. For example, you know, watching Technoblade, okay, I was very much in a parasocial relationship with him, okay? You know, he talked all the time. I got to know him very well because I, you know, watched a lot of his videos and streams because, you know, he kept talking. But from him, he didn't get any social connection. And for me, you know, for him, he didn't even know I existed. So, you know, if you know, he had actually gotten to know me, I'm sure we would have been great friends. But the point is that, well, that's not going to happen. But two, don't wait, okay? You, like, don't just wait for the opportune moment. Don't wait for, you know, anything to happen to, oh, yeah, this is the best time to meet this person, or, you know, go on this, you know, social adventure or whatever. No, go now. There is no excuse, okay? And even if you think it's the most awkward thing on the planet, it's still positive, okay? And that's also one of the big things is every single interaction you have with someone, whether or not you're doing the most boring thing imaginable, unless you are just, like, actually ignoring them or they are ignoring you, it is positive interaction. okay? As long as you are trying to actively meet with this person and aren't just constantly getting interrupted by your phone, it is positive interaction. Honestly, even then, it's probably positive interaction, but you know what? I just have a big pet peeve against people, you know, not paying attention when they're talking to me. So, you know, just go there, talk with someone, and, you know, you might stumble across a great friend. But of course, there are various pitfalls in friendship as well. And they're not that many, okay? I'm gonna be honest, there are really not that many. But the biggest one is not being honest and not setting or respecting proper boundaries, okay? So the first one is honesty, okay? If you want to, you know, have a long-term friendship with someone, you're going to have differences, okay? That's just a given, okay? With any two people, you're going to have differences. You are unique, you are an individual, but so are they, okay? So, you know, if you're going in expecting them to know everything about you, know every, you know, one of your customs, every single one of your, you know, needs, wants, etc., you're going to be disappointed every single time, because no one can do that. No one can read your mind. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves, is when people expect others to read their mind about what they are concerned about. Because the thing is, humans, you know, we can partially read minds if we're really good, but we're not infallible, okay? Like, I would say I'm actually pretty good at reading people's minds, at least somewhat to an extent. Like, I can get a pretty good feel for, like, what someone's thinking, what they're doing, how they're going to act, very quickly, okay? But the problem is that I, you know all this because I have, you know, made it a mission of mine to, you know, get to the bottom of things, get to the root of things, and I'm very good at saying, okay, when I don't know something, I ask. But the problem is that I don't even know, like, if I don't know that something's up, I'm not even going to ask about it. So, like, it is up to you to know what's going on in your own mind so you can communicate that. And I will be upfront on it. Communicating with words is terrible, okay? Like, you can't, like the mind, the human mind is incredibly complex, and thinking that, oh, you can just, you know, talk and that's gonna magically solve everything. No, it doesn't, okay? Words are incredibly a bad tool for communicating anything, but they're also literally the only tool you have, so you better use them. And you better, you know, learn how to use them. And if you don't know how to use them, well, start practicing. And, you know, start communicating as honestly as you can. And if the message isn't getting across, keep communicating, okay? You know, so many people, like, they, you know, give, like, a subtle signal, or maybe they say something only once, and then they expect the other person to just, like, remember, or, you know, they don't even bother checking to see that, oh, the other person, you know, knows what I'm trying to say. Yeah, spoiler, not gonna work, okay? People cannot read your mind. And that's basically the thing I want you to take home, is that unless you have clear, solid evidence that, like, someone goes up and says, I understand you want me to, I'm sorry for everyone suffering obsolescence, I just like doing this. Unless you have someone clearly doing, like, I understand you want me to X, the message is not communicated properly, okay? Unless you have that, and, you know, obviously they're not in the middle of something, but the point is that do not expect anyone to read your mind, and also make sure that when you are communicating, that you are communicating effectively, and that if the message isn't getting across, you keep communicating it until they get it, hopefully in a different way so they do get it, okay? But there's nothing stupider on the planet, at least in my mind, than someone, like, someone, like, expecting someone else to do something when no communication was done, or if it was done, then it wasn't done properly. And then, like, you know, so many problems these days happen because of communication. So many feelings hurt, so many, you know, bad things happen because, you know, the message simply, hey, this is not okay, was not communicated properly. And of course, that brings us to boundaries, which is, okay, what should you be saying is okay? And basically, the way I approach boundaries, and by the way, you know, I know most people use boundaries for, like, relationships and stuff. No, this goes for friendships. And again, I'm using friendships in the very, very generic sense for literally any interaction, social interaction you have with anyone, including your enemies, by the way, okay? You have boundaries with your enemies as well. But the key with boundaries is you want to basically make these boundaries as small as possible, such that they, like, actively stop whatever you want to stop from happening. However, they also have to be as fast acting as possible, and of course easily communicated. And what basically I mean by this is the whole point of this is to avoid the situation where, say, someone does something you don't communicate properly, and, you know, or maybe you do, but, you know, you say, okay, you know, they just messed up, you know, they're, you know, whatever's wrong with them, it's fine. And then they do it again, and you say, okay, it's fine. And then they do it again and again and again. And by the 10th time, you're just like, okay, I've had it. You know, this is unacceptable. I'm just cutting off all ties with them, friendship over, cutting off all, you know, leaving them forever, and, you know, I'm bad-mouthing them to everyone. That is an example of how, you know, friendships die. And that is not what you want to happen. Okay, but instead, a better solution is have a boundary be immediately and fast acting. Okay, so if someone breaks a boundary, that's it. No more second chances, no more nothing. Okay, if you genuinely think they learned from it, okay, fine, you might consider giving them a second chance, but, you know, use your best judgment. But the point is, it doesn't matter how many times they convince you, you have to actually think that they have changed. And if you don't find evidence of that, then don't give in the boundary, okay? It doesn't matter how many times they ask, how many times they want you to do something, that's not the point. But at the same time, again, the boundary should be small. So what I mean by this is the smallest possible thing you can do such that, you know, negative thing doesn't happen. For example, I will give you a real example, okay? I don't want to be doxxed, okay? What is the smallest possible thing I can do to prevent myself from getting doxxed? Simple. To not give out key details of personal information, like my location, name, and face, okay? If I don't do that, and, you know, I don't give up obvious stuff like social security number, I cannot be doxxed, okay? Like, you can try as much as you want, I cannot be doxxed. I mean, you probably hack me and stuff, but, you know, then, okay, I have a boundary that, you know, okay, I'm not going to open suspicious files, and I'm going to run them by an ad blocker whenever anyone sends me. But then, of course, there's also, you know, other stuff, such as, okay, well, I become friends with someone. They have a certain level of trust, and, okay, I might, you know, start trusting them with my face. I might start trusting them with my name, and I actually have shown my face and name to a few people online, okay? HelloPilot is a good example. But the point is that, okay, if HelloPilot, you know, doxes me by accident, I'm not just going to break off friendships with them. I'm not going to say, oh, well, you suck, I'm bad-mouthing you, friendship over, goodbye forever. No, that's stupid, okay? What instead I would do is, okay, he releases, you know, my face and stuff. I'm just not going to trust him with any of that stuff anymore. And, you know, he has broken my trust. I'm not going to, you know, send him anything like that ever again, or at least until he demonstrates to me that, you know, he has learned his lesson, I guess. And again, the boundary is not meant to be a punishment. It is not meant to be a deterrence or anything like that. It is simply meant to stop thing from happening again, or stop it from happening entirely. Okay, and then as friends get, you know, increasing level of trust with you, you can, you know, sort of let them go against certain boundaries because you trust them to enforce them yourself, and so that you don't have to. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so for example, you know, if you just come up online and ask me, or here's another one, okay? A lot of people ask to be like my moderator for like my chat and stuff, okay? And, you know, I basically say, okay, I don't trust you enough, okay? Like, I'm not just going to let someone, you know, random that comes into my stream once and asks to be mod, oh yeah, I'm not just give you mod. I don't have any trust that you're not just going to abuse your power or ban random people and make my, you know, day annoying. So what is the minimal amount of stuff I can do to make sure that doesn't happen? Don't give a mod, okay? It's not saying, oh, I hate you, I don't want to be friends with you, etc. No, it's simply, you have not earned a sufficient level of trust for me to, you know, let this boundary slide, because I, you know, trust you will enforce it. Okay, but, you know, suppose I did, and I actually did, okay? Someone asked for mod, and, you know, I was like, yeah, I'm not sure if I trust them, but you know what, I'll go on a limb and, you know, give them mod, and, you know, they abused it right away. What did I do? Did I get angry? Did I, you know, start saying, oh, I'm not getting friends with you? Absolutely not. What I did is I took mod away from them, undid the damage, and that's it. I'm still friends with them, for reasons I'm not going to say what their name is, but it doesn't really matter. I don't really care, because the point is that it's up to me to enforce my boundaries. Of course, you know, obviously this is only true in situations where, you know, everything is normal. Okay, if you're getting like abused or something, it's not the time to start enforcing your boundaries. It's time to call the police to enforce your boundaries of, you know, living without being oppressed and stuff. But, you know, in normal situations, it's absolutely your job to enforce your boundaries. And if someone is overstepping them, you couldn't call them, oh, bad and whatnot, or you could just say, hey, you know, there are people like that in the world. I am going to, you know, do things proactively to make sure that does not happen again. Whether that be, you know, not trusting them with stuff again, or, you know, enforcing my boundaries a bit harder if, you know, this tends to keep happening, or so forth. Okay, and there's not an exact science to it. You sort of have to get a feel for it, but that's the general thing. And then, of course, obviously, there's respecting other people's boundaries, which basically means, okay, well, they also have to be communicating effectively and, doing boundaries effectively. And what that means is, there's not really a way you can know, like, again, you can't read minds, they can't read minds. But what you can do is ask, okay, is say, hey, is this okay? You have an inkling that they aren't okay. And again, sometimes you're going to mess up. Sometimes, they're not going to tell you or whatever. It's not your fault if they don't tell you like what's wrong and, you just act anyway, then, what else can you do? Like if you ask someone, hey, are you okay with this? And they say yes. And then you do it and they're like, well, but I wasn't actually okay with it. That's kind of on them. Yeah. But the basic thing is that, you can at least stop it from happening on your side, and you can at least attempt to stop it from happening on their side as well. Because obviously, friendship or any social interaction, it takes two people. Not obviously, you can't just be friends with yourself, or else, what's the point of friends? But that's basically how you get friends. You interact with them, and you have to interact with them consistently. Okay. For example, like one of my also biggest pet peeves about life is that, no one seems to value long-term friendships anymore, to the point where, like, I don't think I know a single person. Actually, I know for a fact I don't know a single person besides, like, my immediate family that I've interacted with a consistent basis, for, like, when I say consistent, I mean, like, at least once a week, that I knew, like, growing up, okay? Like, there's not one, which is really saddening to me, and I'm hoping that, in my life that I can, change that for myself. But, or at least, get long-term friends that will, be there. But the point is that, the more you know someone, the more time you spend with someone, the, more you're going to know them and the better friend they're going to be. And the, more better friend they are, the more time you should spend with them, because that's, going to lead to more long-term happiness. Okay, friends, like spending an hour with an acquaintance is less good than spending that same hour with, a very close friend of yours that you can, be 100% yourself with at all times and, really, really trust. Okay, it's, not even on the same page. But, obviously, if you don't have any friends or you want to make new ones, go hang out with them. That's the first step always. Okay, so in conclusion, I guess, go hang out with people. Don't talk yourself out of it, okay? Just, like, go, be awkward, doesn't matter, okay? Like, I don't care how awkward you think it is still positive social interaction, and they will still appreciate it, and, you might make a new friend along the way. Or, not along the way, that's the whole point, but the point is, interact with people. I don't care how, socially awkward you think you are, or whatever. Interact with them. It's going to be better than you think. And even if it's not, it's still positive. And then, try to communicate honestly, be yourself. And that's, it sort of ties in with honesty, but I do want to emphasize the be yourself part, which is, if you think, oh, well, I don't want to be myself because, that my friends will, like, think bad of me or, not like me or whatever. Who do they like then? Like a figment of your imagination that you're coming up with? Someone that you're not? Like, either you're lying to your friends, which is not good, but actually you're lying to your friends and you're also not having, like, you're also feeling insecure about yourself because you don't show yourself to anyone. That's not a good trade, okay? Like, who knows? They might really accept you, in which case, okay, great, you got a great pair of friends. Or they might be like, oh no, we don't like that, in which case, well, I mean, first of all, you technically could just not be yourself, but second of all, hey, I need to probably start looking for a new group of friends because these guys are not accepting me. Which, while we're on the topic, don't be that group of friends, okay? If someone's, like, trying to show them, like, selves to you, be nice, okay? And it's sort of my motto and mission in life is that I will never reject anyone, and, like, I do mean anyone, okay? I don't care who you are, what you did, like, how are you doing, etc. Like, that's just my motto, and I understand that not everyone's gonna have that same motto, but if you can, I would really recommend it, because basically it, opens up literally anyone to being your friend, and, it also, makes you sort of a good person, in my opinion. Because, if you can accept literally anyone for just simply being a human being, you don't have to say, oh, well, everything you did was, amazing, but just being willing to talk to them and to try to help them, become a better person, that is something that in my book is always going to be correct no matter who you're talking to. And, you know, if you can do that, then you will have earned a, you know, amazing friend. And honestly, that's partially where a lot of my friends come from. Not that a lot of people, you guys stink, but more so that, like, I've helped a lot of people who think they're in, like, a really bad position and, you know, oh no, life is doom and gloom and I'm so terrible and whatnot. And if you can help someone like that, like, they will instantly become your, like, try to become your lifelong friend forever. Like, you won't even be able to try to, like, get rid of them, okay? They'll stick with you forever. And, you know, unfortunately, a lot of people take advantage of this by, like, you know, uttering, like, bad platitudes, and then they take advantage of you later on. So, obviously, don't become one of those people, okay? I very much hope I don't. I don't think I am. But, yeah. But basically, the point is that, like, those people are especially vulnerable if they have, like, low self-esteem or, you know, don't have a lot of friends. And if you are willing to be, you know, the person to reach out and say, hey, I accept you for who you are, let's, you know, be the person to say, you know, whenever they're like, oh, well, I don't like it because of, you know, some bad, sad backstory that, you know, they don't want to talk about, ask them about it, you know, and obviously, you know, give them space to, you know, say, oh, no, I'm not ready to talk about that yet. But once they are ready to talk about it, absolutely keep asking, keep pushing, and, you know, eventually they'll open up. And if you can react well in that situation, like, practically anyone in that situation will instantly become a lifelong friend. Like, there's, like, you just helped them and, you know, accepted. And again, that goes back to the original topic, which is, like, the universal human need is to be accepted. And so if you can provide that to someone that's, you know, feeling a lot of rejection and loneliness and so forth, again, instant lifelong friends. And, you know, that's why, you know, my YouTube channel, I always try to do that. Not so much that people can become friends with me, although that was certainly, you know, was a big part of it at first when I didn't have any friends myself and, you know, needed that myself. But also such that, you know, I want to provide the same stuff that, you know, I so desperately needed, you know, when I was, you know, going through that stuff. So, yeah. So, I guess in conclusion, if you didn't, you know, too long didn't read, you skipped to the last minute of the video or whatever, basically, I don't care how socially awkward you are, meet people and then keep meeting them and keep going to them and keep interacting with them. Don't, like, go on your phone, go on your computer, you know, actually interact with them and, you know, keep, you know, trying to meet them consistently. Always accept them for who they are. And you don't have to say, oh, everything you're doing is fine. No, what they're doing can be complete. Oh, that was nice stuff in my throat. But what they're doing could be, like, completely, you know, immoral or whatever. But the point is, if you accept them and say, hey, let's get you to a better place, let's get you to a better path, that's how you change someone. Okay. And that is, you know, really powerful. But, you know, obviously you should be cautious there. Okay. If they did, you know, bad stuff in the past, they, you know, they could also do it to you. Be careful. But the point is, okay, so, you know, you accepted them, you know, are spending time with them, and then, you know, that's how friendship happens. There's literally, and then, of course, you know, oh, that's not it, okay? You also have to be honest and try your best to make sure that they are also being honest with you, okay? If you know, detect anything out of the ordinary, ask, hey, what's wrong, anything going on, anything I can do, you know, to help you out, etc. And then after that, you know, make sure you're setting proper boundaries, i.e. small and rapidly enforceable. And, you know, again, the worst case scenario, the what thing you want to avoid at all costs is things that you did not communicate and, you know, are huge and are slow to act, so that, you know, they don't know what's going on. They can't even infer it because it's slow to act. And then it's immediately, oh, just end the friendship. Oops, sorry. Yeah, that's what you want to prevent. And then as long as you follow that, that's how you make friends. So go forth and, you know, make some friends with this new school year. And, you know, if you think it's impossible, well, I'll always be your friend. You're welcome. Anyway, it's gonna do it for me. Have fun getting friends. And then you can defeat the world with the power of friendship and whatnot. And, yeah. Bye!